I'm Yanling Mayer, research economist with the Texas Real Estate Research Center at Texas A&M University. In my latest TG article, I explore housing affordability through the lenses of how we define affordability and how we measure it. In other words, it's a conceptual look at what it means to say that housing is or isn't affordable. Most of us would agree that affordability means a household should be able to pay for housing comfortably, or at least without major financial strain. That sounds straightforward, but the moment you try to quantify what comfortably actually means, things get complicated quickly. First, administratively, HUD uses a long-standing rule that says housing is considered affordable if it costs no more than 30% of gross income. But since most households take home around 80% of gross pay or even less, depending on their income tax bracket and whether there is state income tax or not, the real burden when measured against disposable income can be much higher. And then there is this question of what goes into the monthly housing payment for those affordability indexes that track affordability over time. Is it 80% of prices, as in a conventional loan, or is it 90% or 97% of prices, as is typical for FHA borrowers? So to assume borrowers typically pay 20% down can overstate affordability, as many of today's first-time and modest income buyers often put down far less. In addition, there is also this question of whether property taxes and homeowners insurance are included. These are not small add-ons, but non-trivial recurring costs, which can push monthly payments much higher. So leaving them out can make affordability appear rosier than it really is, particularly in markets where these expenses are high and rising fast. So, despite how we personally feel about what it means to say housing is affordable, the definition and measurement matter. Because, among other things, they help shape federal and state policies, they help define eligibility for federal housing program, and they help set mortgage underwriting and lending standards. Of course, affordability is a much bigger and complex issue than any single metrics can capture. But a conversation about affordability has to start somewhere. And my article begins with how policymakers and the housing industry measure affordability. For more on this, read my latest article online or in the summer 2026 issue of Terra Grande. Thank you for watching.